Uber Cash. Shall I have it on? Shall I have it off? What to do? So many people are messaging me like what to do, and then the ins and outs of Uber Cash and how it works. So I've done my research, I've done the testing, and in this video I'm going to tell you all about Uber Cash and is it worth having it on or having it off. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. You know the score guys, I know it's a pest, I've got to remind you, but YouTube loves interaction. And if you just watch, it doesn't do nothing. But if you give me a little like, or give me a comment, or subscribe to me if you haven't already, it helps massively, guys. And it pushes it into the algorithm, do you know what I mean? So just hit the little like button and give us a little comment below. Legends, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments, are you going to leave Uber Cash on or off? And have I changed your mind, or put you off, or made you want to have it on? Let me know. Nice one, I'll see you in a sec. Uber Cash. Uber Cash. Everyone's going on about it. Shall I not? Shall I not? First thing I want to point out, guys, right, is it's something like another income source. It might not be much, it might not be not, but imagine just missing out on a 200 quid or 150 quid job because you got it turned off because you don't fully understand how it works or you're a bit worried, right? So in this video, I'm going to cover just Uber Cash and technically what the pros and cons of it, and in my opinion, what I'm doing. Am I leaving it on? Am I leaving it off? And what I think you should do as well, but it's up to you. So, if you got to think about it, right? With Uber Cash, main people worry about is obviously A, getting robbed. Do you know what I mean? But technically, you don't need to take a float. I'll cover that in a sec. You don't have to have a float. You don't have to give change. You don't have to mess about with anything like that, right? It is more or less what I've seen and what I've experienced myself is exactly the same as a normal job. Exactly the same. But instead of the money going through the app, it's going in your pocket. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to keep an eye out for fake notes and stuff like that. And obviously, if they don't pay, Uber's already come out and said that they'll back it up anyway. You know what I mean? You can't scam them because after 2, 3 times, obviously, it's not going to happen. So if you have like 2, 3 times quite often of like passengers not paying you, then Uber's not going to keep backing you. Do you know what I mean? But for the odd time that it might happen, Uber said they'll back it anyway and sort you out with the money. One of the lads as well has had a no-show. So pulled up, waited the timer, cancelled the job, cash job. He got paid. Uber paid him. Do you know what I mean? So there's not much difference between Uber Cash and Uber non-cash. You know, just normal. But what I've noticed, a lot of people are saying, keep the change. So the tips are going bigger. One of the lads done a big shift, and he said he got 26 quid in cash tips on that one shift. Do you know what I mean? And obviously cash is only just coming in. It's not even popular now. It's building up and building up because people just say keep the change, keep the change, keep the change, right? So in my personal opinion, I think yes, I think you should have the cash option turned on. It's another preference like Uber X, Comfort, Exec, XL, Exec XL, cash. If you keep cash on, it'll top up during the day. You might get a little cheeky 30 quid job that makes a difference on the crap day. Do you know what I mean? Because yeah, I can't defend that Uber's terrible at the moment. I done a private job this morning, dropped off in town, and I thought I'll get an Uber, try and get an Uber job home because I'm not doing much, just trying to focus on the private side. Little JLA to town, well online on town, drove all the way home about 8-9 miles on the outskirts of Liverpool, and yeah, I got 2 job offers that were £3.30, and that was it for the full 25 minute drive home. It's on a Sunday. It's just very quiet, which is a shame. So why turn cash off when it's so quiet? Do you know what I mean? Now with cash, how it works is actually quite simple. Uber does everything for you. The only one choice you've got to make, and it's an honest or dishonest one, right? So I'm going to simplify the maths. Yeah, I'm not saying this is fact. Just to simplify the math. Just say the trip is 8 quid. Yeah, they give you £10. Yeah, if they don't say anything at all, Uber says, did they give you the correct change? £8. You click other amount and you type in £10 because they give you 10 quid, right? And then that's it, done and dusted. The 2 quid comes off your earnings for the day, or obviously before you get paid at the end of the week. So the 2 quid goes off your money and goes back to them in change. You don't have to carry a float, right? The dishonest thing would do is to say they just give you 8 quid and then you pocket the 2 quid. Do you know what I mean? So it depends what you're going to do, if you're going to be honest or not. Now, if they give you the 10 quid and say keep the change, then you put 8 quid. You don't put 10. Yeah? And then you pocket the £2 change because they say keep the change. But if they don't say anything, technically you should put the amount they give you, the £10, and then you refund them the £2 through the app. And then next time they get a job, they'll have £2 credit that comes off the fare. Do you know what I mean? One thing you got to remember, by the way, was someone messaging me with, lads, the job was £6, and then when I stopped, Uber said take £9.50 off the customer. I went, why did it go up so much? That's a joke, that. Remember, guys, you got to collect the VAT. You got to collect the commission off the customer as well. Do you know what I mean? And also, I've been told as well, you got to collect previous debts that they might have. I don't know, but technically, you just collect whatever they tell you to collect. You know what I mean? And people forget that. So you see a job of £5, right? But this is the fun fact of Uber Cash, because you know how much they're taking or how much they're keeping. So just say you see a job for £5 pop up on your app. When you accept that job, yeah, that it won't be collect £5, will it? Because you got to collect the VAT, the commission, previous money or whatever. They might say collect £9.80 or £12.30. Do you know what I mean? And then you collect the £12.30. If they give you £15, you type in the app. You don't say correct money, yes, no. You click no over amount, £15, and then the change go to them, yeah, and then you keep the cash. Simple as that. Do you know what I mean? I done a video last week about the dangers of it. Now, a lot of people are going to assume or worried about, well, the main reason I've done that video is because a lot of people contact me and said, I feel like I joined Uber to avoid cash. Cash can cause problems, guys. Most of the time I've had problems on local companies is because of dealing with cash. Do you know what I mean? Runners, arguing, do you know what I mean? I done a little job the other week on a cash job, and it was for Alpha, I was testing something out, and the woman went, the fare was like a fiver, and she had the fare was £8, and she went, oh, I've only got a fiver. And I went, right, but the fare's £8, love. And she was off about it. She was mad, but lovely, but mad as a box of frogs, and I didn't want to argue with her, to be honest. And she's like, no, I've only got a fiver. And I went, but the fare's £8, love. Yeah, but I've only got a fiver. You know what I mean? And I went, alright, sound. She gave me a tenner. And I went, you give me a tenner? I went, so now I need a fiver change. I went, but you owe me £8. And she went, I know, but I need a fiver change. Do you know what I mean? But like dead serious. So I'll give it a fiver change. I've not fallen out over having made over £3. Do you know what I mean? And that £8 fare become a fiver because the woman was kicking off on me over it. Like, not even kicking off, but she wanted the £5 change. And I just done it for the sake of it. So most problems that you have doing this job or back in the day was cash work. Do you know what I mean? But with Uber it's different to a certain degree because they're kind of backing themselves up. Do you know what I mean? So if you got a no-show, you don't have to knock on the door and go, can I have me £3 please, mate? Uber will just bank you the £3 and probably put them in a minus. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to carry change, which means the safety aspect is not as unsafe because Ubers don't carry money because, do you know what I mean? The only thing that cash can cause a problem, and maybe if you want, turn cash off at like set times a day and stuff like that. Like if you're working days, Uber Cash ain't going to be a problem. Where Uber Cash is going to be a problem is like when you're working nights, Saturday night, you know what I mean? Drunk people, bladdered people, do you know what I mean? And they're like, alright mate, how much mate? Raging off the limo and that, and you're like, yeah, £16 mate, yeah, £20 mate. Want me change, lad? Sorry mate, I'll refund you in Uber credits. No lad, I want me £4. I want to buy, I don't know, half a doner kebab on the way home. I need me £4. Can't mate, Uber credits is on your way buddy. I hardly ever book an Uber, I want me £4. Do you know what I mean? That kind of situation can arise if you're like drunk or angry people or whatever, where a lot of people that I know of who's working Uber and Uber Cash is they're keeping afloat for that reason. Do you know what I mean? Just in case something like that happens. Mate, I need me £4 change. You pull out your float on the sly and just give them £4. Do you know what I mean? But normally if there's no problems, just give them Uber credits. But have that float just in case. Do you know what I mean? To protect yourself. Because in the end, you just want to be, doing the taxi, you've got to be a people pleaser. Yeah, whatever, £4, yeah, whatever, mate. Yeah, here's a £5. That's that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Just easy life. That's all you need to do. One thing I want to point out as well is I've had an odd person say got told that they booked the Uber Cash by accident. Okay? So Uber Cash by accident, and it was just £15 fare. the customer's like, mate, I've got no cash on me. It was by accident, bevied or whatever. I went, I've got no cash on me. So the driver's going, what am I going to do? So if you put naught in the Uber app, I don't know what happens. You have to contact Uber, fight it. Do you know what I mean? There's a big battle with the support, etc., etc. The passenger, is he going to go -15 in his account or whatever? I don't know what happens. So what I recommend to you, right? I'll show you on my phone right now. I'll put the link below the video if you want it. So it's called the Square app. Yeah. So what you do is, I'm going to bank card. This is my bank card, right? This is the customer's bank card or his Apple Pay or CarPay on his phone. Everyone's got it. He's been on a night out. Everyone's got access to a contactless phone. You don't need a card reader. It's a free app. You literally go 15 quid, charge, tap to pay, add a tip, no, tap to pay, contactless. You put the bank card or the other person's phone on the back of your phone, bloop, takes the 15 quid. Get that app for the sake of just having a backup. Do you know what I mean? If they just say, they pretend they've got no cash or they haven't got enough, you can take money now in your car. Super easy. You don't need a terminal. You don't need a monthly 20 quid a month like contract or nothing like that. They just charge you like a commission. But if you go through my referral link, I think you get like £1,000 off, no fees. So your first £1,000 using this app is free. Do you know what I mean? Have that installed on your phone as a backup, guys. But myself personally, I'm going to summarise the video. I've chatted a lot of bubbles. I do apologise. Any questions, by the way, or concerns you've got over Uber Cash, let me know in the comments, okay? And I'll try and help you in the comments. Because people tell me and share information with me all the time, stories and everything, send me messages on Instagram and stuff like that. So I've got to learn about stuff to do these videos, do you know what I mean? So I'll try my best. But in the end, it is my opinion. Going forward, if I do much Uber, which I don't really, I'm going to have Uber Cash turned on. I've got a float in my car anyway. I always have with the privates. I always need a little bit of a float. Do you know what I mean? Because if they give me if it's 62 quid first, some people actually wait for the 3 quid. They give you 65 and wait for the 3 quid, even though they're going on holiday. Because there's some people like that. So I've always got a little float. It's literally like 15 quid and pound and £2 coins. That's it. And obviously my wallet, which has just got money in anyway. Just, do you know what I mean? Just in my pocket. So I have a small float in my car. I always have done for years. Even when I used to do the locals. So, where was I? Why did I bring that up? Oh, to summarise. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. To summarise is I am going to keep cash on. I'm going to have a little float with me for emergencies. I've got my app for any more emergencies. I know I've got Uber kind of as a backup to look after me to a certain degree for a couple of not like runners or whatever. But in the end, it is just dead straightforward. It is dead straightforward. And 95% of the jobs, they're just going to go, how much, mate? 8 quid, mate. Tenner. All right, mate, do you want the 2 quid change in credits or... And they'll go, oh no, keep it. Keep it. Perfect. 8 quid in the app. Pocket the 2 quid. Next job. Do you know what I mean? Listen, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. I hope this video has been helpful. Give us a little like, subscribe, follow. Check out my Instagram, my TikTok. drivermatty.com. Yeah? Maybe an airport transfer, you know what I mean? Going on holiday. Know anyone who's going on holiday? Just send them DM airport transfers, guys, yeah? And you can let them book a little cheeky airport transfers. UK wide, by the way. Nice one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.